In his recent State of the Union address, there was no doubt where President Obama stands on climate change.
Well, if anybody still wants to dispute the science around climate change, have at it.
It's a challenge some of the leading presidential contenders are happy to take on, says Gene Karpinski of the League of Conservation Voters, a nonpartisan environmental advocacy group.
So the two leading candidates right now on the Republican side, Mr. Trump and Mr. Cruz, basically still say climate change is a hoax.
Karpinski says Republicans have skirted the issue. In a December debate, Ohio Governor John Kasich argued that world leaders at the UN climate talks missed an opportunity to address security issues.
And when I see they have a climate conference over in Paris, they should have been talking about destroying ISIS because they are involved in virtually every country across this world.
Voters are not hearing about the environment from Republican candidates because it's not an important issue for them, says Ben Zeiker of the American Enterprise Institute.
If you look at the polling for the electorate writ large, it's very low on the list of topics that voters are interested in. It's even lower among independents, and it's even lower among Republicans.
Instead, Republican candidates are focused on terrorism and the economy. On the Democratic side, climate change is a more important issue. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, one of the leading Democratic candidates, is a big supporter of renewable energy.
I think that's the best way to combat climate change. It's also a great way to put millions of people to work. You know, in Iowa, they're already getting about a third of their electricity from wind. And we can do the same across America.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders echoed that sentiment in an NBC televised forum, accusing Republicans of siding with donors over voters.
We have a major party called the Republican Party that is so owned by the fossil fuel industry and their campaign contributions that they don't even have the courage, the decency to listen to the scientists.
While the climate change issue could make a difference in the general election, there remains a need for leadership.
We need bipartisan support. The public, there's bipartisan support, but the leadership, sadly, in the Republican Party is not there.
Most polls say voters are more concerned over terrorism and the economy, but awareness of climate change is growing and will likely become more important over time. Rosanne Skirble, VOA News, Washington.